Okay, off you go. Okay, guys, well, it's the top of the hour. Here we are again on a Tuesday. And what I want to basically do tonight is go back literally to the beginning with regards to Google advertising and have it in two parts. One, I'm going to have it as a refresher on text ads. And then two, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up again, like I did back in literally the second presentation, but I'm going to have a little bit of a different spin on it, okay? There's nothing, absolutely nothing wrong the way I did things the first time around. However, now I'm going to give you another option, okay? Probably the better option. As such, it'll be more advanced, but only basically in the way you think about it. The actual implementation is ultimately not a great deal different to what we did before. But when you see it, you'll understand where I'm going and you'll realize it'll be so much better for you. So we all know what a Google text ad is, okay? We see it every day. We go into Google, we type something in, and immediately we are presented with text ads and shopping ads. Now, obviously, for the purpose of this, we're going to concentrate on text ads, and this is basically what they look like, okay? There'll be sort of a headline, a sub-headline, and a URL, and a little sort of marker that says you know it's an advertisement, okay? Now, the reason I'm sort of going back over this is that I know everybody saw it. I know people have looked into it. Many of you have already tried it. But either way, I always take the view that, you know, when you see things for the first time, and even when you basically go over it, there's you know, maybe it doesn't sort of work out. It's sort of like, you know, register with you 100%. There's something, okay, well, what did I miss out? So I like to go over things like a second time, simply because it's for your benefit, and something that may not have been clear the first time round will be ultimately a lot more clearer second time round. So as we all know, when we start advertising, there are always too many decisions, okay? With regards, you know, to once you set up your AdWords, you know, the key ones is basically how much money should I spend a day? Are my bids high enough? Do I start with search display, search network, all the different permutations that are offered within the Google system. Now, what I'm going to go through here today is, you know, again, one of the mistakes a lot of people, you know, do make, and we're not going to make it, is not to fully utilize, you know, the available keyword matching options, okay? Selecting which words you want to trigger your ads, you know, can be deceptively difficult. I can tell you now, 95% of advertisers get it completely wrong. And all they do is ultimately burn money and line, you know, Google's coffers, okay? So, but it makes a heck of a lot of more sense once you understand what keywords are and how they work. We know what a keyword ultimately is, but how do we place it in the system to make it work for us, okay? Make it work for us. Now, I'm going to go back over the match types again. All right, it's important, and I'm going to be a bit more thorough with it this time. What I'm going to do is go through what they are, okay, and then I'm just going to do my own quick little demonstration, so it's completely, you know, 100% watertight, that you understand it. Okay. Now the 4 keyword match types are broad match modifier, phrase match, an exact match. Okay? Now, what does all this mean? Again, okay, now broad match. Broad match, as its name suggests, is the keyword match type that allows you to reach the widest possible audience. Okay? Now, when your keyword is in broad match, your ads are eligible to appear whenever a user searches any word in your keyword phrase in any order. Okay? Don't panic yet. Again, we're going to basically just run through this manually. So it also allows misspellings and synonyms to trigger your ads to appear. If you use broad match on the keyword, let's say women's hats, your ad might show when a user searches for men's hats or even women's scarves. And I'll explain what this means in a minute. The wide reach of broad match keywords will increase the number. I mean, if you put keywords in this type, then you're hitting a huge audience, okay? Now, what I mean by no symbol required, so let me just come out of here a second and, one sec, let me just come out. If I can escape from here. We seem to be a bit stuck. Hang on, there you go. Right, so what I'll do, I'll just come out. So let's say we're searching for something that somebody types in and we're advertising, you know, Nike shoes, Nike running shoes, right? So this is one of our keywords. Now, what it means basically where there's no symbol required, because in phrase you can add, and I'll go to on with this a little bit later, but just so you know, you can put things like this on it, and I'll explain what these mean. That's phrase, for example, and exact is like this, so you would put this around the word. And again, don't worry, I'll explain, but I have to do it because the reason being there is no symbol on broad match. Okay, if you put a keyword with no protection, right? It's just Nike running shoes with no symbol. So what it means is this: if you have this keyword, you're selling Nike running shoes, and you have it in this broad match with no protection, ultimately what it means is this, is that someone searching into Google, if they just type the word in Nike, for example, or anything with the phrase with the word Nike in it, your ad could trigger. If anybody types in a phrase to Google that has the word running in it, your ad could trigger. And if somebody types in something into Google that has the word runs into it, it could trigger your ad. So what does that mean? It means that it's so broad and unspecific, you can understand where there's going to be potential huge volume and a lot of clicks. Sounds great on paper. In reality, no good. Okay? Because it's not specific enough. It gives the system carte blanche to trigger your ads for things that could be ultimately unrelated. Okay, somebody could be searching for, Nike t-shirts. Okay, somebody could type in, for example, how far is it if I'm running from one end of New York to the other? That could trigger an ad. Okay, somebody types in something with the word runs in it, it can trigger your ad. So I'm explaining this, but ultimately you are not to use it. Okay, you are not to use it. So let's just come back to where we are. And then we'll move on to what's called broad match modifier. Now, again, you are not to use this, all right? But I'm still going to explain what it is. So the broad match modifier match type gives you the crazy reach of broad match keywords, but allows you to be more restrictive. So it's giving you a little bit of protection, okay? So broad match modified keywords work by appending like a plus sign to a specific keyword phrase that you want to lock in place. So when you lock a keyword in place, you're telling Google that you only want your ad to show when that word appears in the search query. However, the query can be in any order, but that one word needs to exist in it somewhere, okay? So it has to be in there. So for example, to use the, if you're using broad match modifier and the keyword, let's say again, women's hats, Google will show your ad when a user searches for women's fedoras, hats for women, or women's clothing, okay? But will not show your ad when a user searches for men's hats, okay? So, we would be putting in, again, in this, for this, we would basically be putting in a plus sign. So this time when we create it, we'll put a plus sign in front of Nike running shoes, okay? Now, as you can see, you're getting some protection, but not much. The ultimate thing, what you need to know here, guys, is this. Right now, forget it. We don't want to go down that route with broad match modifier. However, what we do want to do is use two others. The first one is what's called phrase match, okay? So your ad will only appear when a user searches for your exact key phrase in its exact order, but maybe with some additional words at the beginning and the end of the query, okay? And so if we come back to here, let's take this. What we would do is basically just, place that keyword into our ad group in parentheses, okay? Now, so what does that mean? Okay, what I just stated, what does that mean? Okay, somebody just types in Nike running shoes, no problem, your ad's going to show. If someone types in, for example, best Nike running shoes, okay, best Nike running shoes, your ad will show. If somebody puts in best Nike running shoes online, your ad will show. The reason being is that with this, okay, when your keyword goes in parenthesis, as long as, no matter what they type in, okay, as long as this phrase in its entirety is in the search query, your ad will show. So now can you see how we're tightening the net? Okay, now we're being specific. Okay, now we're going to talk about negative keywords as well, because somebody could actually type in, for example, this, free, Nike running shoes online. Now, with negative keywords, what we do, we tell the system that if somebody puts in the word free in any phrase related to our keywords, the ad doesn't show, even though this is correct. Okay, but we tell the system no. For things like free, used, secondhand, something like that, we simply don't want it to show. So we can tell the system, and I'll show you how to do that. So in this case, no matter what anybody puts in, unless we have negative keywords in there, your ad will show as long as that phrase is actually in. Now, let's just come back to the slides. The final one is what's called exact match. And this basically means exactly what it says on the tin. It only triggers your ads when someone types in the exact keyword phrase, including very close variations. Okay, the symbol is the type brackets. So let's just come back to here. We would have the keyword set up like this. That's it. And that means that your ad only appears if somebody types in that phrase exactly the way it is. Okay? Nothing else. They type in Nike running shoes, your ad shows. Okay? So we want to cover the two main bases, which is phrase and exact. So let's just come back to that again. All right. Okay. That's not good. Mikey. Right. So there you go. So we now have, these are the two variations we want. That's it. Okay. First one, exact. Someone types it in, your ad triggers. The other one is phrase. Okay. Minus what we might look at negative keywords. So now when we set this up, we are laser targeted on the type of people that we want to show our ads to. Okay. Because people who type in this type of specification, they know what they're looking for. In the first two, in the broad and the exact modifier, you're in the lap of the gods. Yes, you'll get a lot more clicks, and yes, you get a lot more traffic, but I guarantee you, you won't get any more sales. So what this does is allows us to actually, one, get targeted people. Two, it increases our click-through rate. Okay, so we'll get less people looking, but more people clicking. So we'll get higher click-through. So for example, for 100 people, we might get a 6% click-through rate. So even higher, maybe 10%, depending. So let's assume it's 6%. So for every 100 people that your ad may be shown to, six people may click through. So you've got a 6% click-through rate, which is high on Google. Okay, hopefully you'll get higher. But what that happens is the better your click-through rate, the better your quality score, which means the higher you rank and the less you pay. That's the way Google works. It's not a straight bidding platform. So let's just come back to where we were. So that's exact match. And then basically what we will do is I will show you when we set up everything up and add in negative keywords to your campaigns. So when your ads are set up, for example, we don't want the words, our ads triggering things like free, cheap, used, that type of thing. Okay, because that's just going to be wasted money. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to run through this new setup. Okay, and we're going to look at, obviously, when we set up the ads. Again, we're going to look at good copy, having the words, your, free, now, get, online, shipping, best, save, for example, all in the ads. But so what I'm going to do is actually come out and log in to an AdWords account, a test account. Okay. Now, what I've done. Okay, so we can do this completely live and you can completely understand what's going on here. And that is, I sort of went to Product List Genie and I just picked out within basically the high ticket area a product. Okay, so I picked out this steam cleaner. Okay, now, then I just basically put it on my test Shopify site and just uploaded everything into it and all the information. So now what we want to do, we've got our product on our store and we know it's basically a steam cleaner, right? And we want to basically market this now and sell it online. Now, the first place we're going to start is text ads, okay? Obviously, we've got other variations. Obviously, shopping is going to be very important for us. In fact, more important, but either way, text ads are great. And also we've gone through areas of the content network. And again, we're going to do refreshers on that as each week goes by. However, just so you know what I've done, I went to Product List Genie, got the product, put it onto the test site. So now I'm ready to market. Now in my AdWords account, I'm just going to go to search campaigns. Okay. And now we're going to set up a brand new campaign right from the start. So we have the plus sign. In fact, I'm going to backtrack. Up here in tools, okay, we're going to click on that, okay, and we're going to go to planning and keyword planner. Okay, and then find keywords. And what I'm going to put in here is steam cleaner. because that's the most generic form of this product. And what it's going to bring me up is, as you can see, searches and potential bids. So here we have variations of searches that are related to steam clean, okay? And monthly volume, which as you can see is pretty high, all right? Don't worry about the competition, I never do, and you don't need to worry about it either. And also we have top of page bid and variations, okay? So this is actually a pretty good market. It's not overly expensive. Some of them, as you can see, are, but you know, we're not going to actually put in a keyword Home Depot carpet cleaner, right? So we need to look here and see which ones really are relevant to us. Well, steam cleaner is relevant, but it's pretty generic, okay? So if we go basically to Google itself and we see what's going on, we just type that in, we can see what's coming up here, all sorts of pricing. And of course, here we have all sorts of text ads, which we're going to position ourselves. So the first thing we're going to look at is, let's look at really what this is. I mean, steam cleaner, carpet cleaner. So that is obviously pretty obvious for us, okay? It is actually reasonably expensive, but sometimes I don't believe what's on here. But either way, I'm going to do it. Okay. Then we're going to look for, there you go, floor steamer. Let's just take some good keywords here. Okay, floor steam cleaner, carpet steamer, steam vacuum. That's a good one. Best steam cleaner. Look at that. Best steam cleaner, 36 cents. Floor and steam cleaners. Steam vacuum cleaner. And okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take those for now. Those are all reasonably priced. And so what I'm going to do here is just basically click here to add it to the plan. Okay, so I've got basically that in place. So what I'm going to do, in fact, let's have a look. Let's just bring this back up here. 1 second. What I'm actually going to do, if I can just, I'm actually just download those ones here. All right, so just repairing the report. So I'll just open up the report. Okay, so I've actually just brought them all down, to be honest. I didn't actually separate them. Okay, so now let's just bring the ones that we want. So I'm going to keep that open just for now. Let me just move this out of the way so I get in here. Okay, right. So now I'm going to go back to the setup. Now I'm going to start the campaign. New campaign, and we want it for search, okay? Reach customers interested in your product. So that's search, that's text ads. And I'm going to put it for website. Well, we can do it for sales, leads, website traffic, whatever you want. Either way, leads we don't want, sales, website traffic, ideally drive sales at phone or in store, all right? So we can just put it for that, and we just want to go for website visits. Now remember, in the previous training, I showed you how to actually set up the conversion code, because if we just come into here real quick, if I can get it. In fact, I don't want to get out of here. Just come into tools. And we just go to conversions. Okay. I showed you in here that when you want to basically get your conversion code, website, okay, and you set everything up to get your conversion code, right? We did that before when we first did the initial one here. I can click and show you. And once you just go through that process, you then basically get the tag to install, okay? So we're going to do it itself. We just click on that, and that gives you the tag to actually put into your store, which tracks the conversions. Okay, so let's just go back to where we were. New campaign, search, sales, website visits, okay, and then basically put your website name in, okay, and then we're going to basically just click continue. Right, now we're going to call our campaign a name. So I'm going to call this one, okay, I'm just going to call this one Steam Cleaner. Now, here's what happens in the networks. We come into the search network, so we have choices. The first thing you're going to do is untick this one, display network. No, 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 never do that. Now we have the choices here. It's going to show to the search network on Google, but if you leave this checked, it can appear on in the search results on other Google sites, okay? So normally it says partners like AOL, sites like that, that basically it will show. For now, we're actually going to uncheck it, okay? We only want it to show on the Google search network. Our target is the United States, okay? We'll leave it English for now. And then I'm just going to put in a budget here. I'll put in, for example, $50, okay? And the bidding, this is important, okay? Come down to bidding and clicks. And that's it. We want manual CPC, all right? And uncheck enhanced. Basically enhanced will, once we get conversions, we can use it. But right now, we only want, because your options are going to be here, target CPA, cost per acquisition, maximize clicks, maximize conversions. Right now, we don't have any we got no data. So we want to start with full control. So we're going to basically have it as manual CPC and remove enhanced CPC. Start and end date, leave that unless you want a specific date to run it. Don't worry about dynamic search. Audiences, okay, select audiences, forget that. Now, so site link extensions we're going to come back to. Call out extensions, we're going to come back to all this, okay? Now, in additional settings, again, we've got a chance to put in extensions, but we're going to come back to this. All right. All you need to ultimately worry about here right now on this initial setup is we'll come to the ad schedule, we'll look at that, and you can run it obviously for your time frames. So from here, for example, I'll run it from 8 in the morning, all days till, let's say, 8 o'clock at night. Of course, you have your choices. Location options. Okay, we want it basically people in your targeted locations. Okay, and that's it. Okay, just run that through again one more time. Sales, your campaign name. Uncheck these two, because all we've got to do is run it on the search network. Target location, United States. Language, budget, manual CPC, uncheck enhanced. Run, no need to set a start and end date. Leave these as they are. Put your ad schedule in, what the days you're going to run, all days. Put your time, it's up to you. And then in location options, people in your target locations. Now, save and continue. Now we're at the point where everything gets interesting. All right. Its first thing it's going to do is ask us to name our ad group. Okay. Now, this is where you need to pay close attention. Okay. I'm just going to get these out of the way a little bit. First of all, we're going to come back to our list that we downloaded. Okay. So we picked out some good keywords that we want to use. Okay. So first of all, we'll use this one. okay? Best steam cleaner. Now we got different variations here, but this is the way I want you to set it up. So let's say, for example, you've got 15 good keywords, all right, related to your product. Let's take the first one, which is this one, best steam cleaner, okay? Now, what I want you to do is name your first ad group, okay? Name it exactly what that key phrase is and call it best steam cleaner, okay? And then we're going to put a default bid. And just for the sake of it, we're going to put a bid of 49 cents. Now, here's where we enter the keywords. If we just go back a few minutes, you remember I was talking about the broad, phrase, exact. All right? Now, take note, there's a cool tool called Keyword Wrap. So you don't have to mess around doing it yourself. All you have to do is put the keyword in, right? So what I'm going to do is put in best steam cleaner. And in fact, I'm going to put the plural in. Best steam cleaners, okay? Now, no more keywords, because what we're actually going to be doing here is an upgraded level of what we did initially. And that is only set up ad groups with one key phrase, which means we're going to set up ads which are 100% related to that phrase. So when the actual ad shows, so imagine the scenario, somebody comes in, types in best steam cleaner, best steam cleaners. We have one ad group only with that key phrasing, with ads 100% related to that key phrase. So what's going to happen is that you are going to stick out like a Christmas tree, right? Because most people will just take their, there's nothing wrong with taking basically your good keywords, put them in an ad group and having them phrase an exact match. But then you have to go in there and start dividing them after your ads start running. If you set it up this way, you get 100% targeting, okay? 100% targeting, and you're going to pay less, I guarantee it. So what we're going to do is come back in here, and then we're going to click Wrap Keywords. Now, as you can see, there's different variations here, all right? But what we want, obviously, is this one, phrase and exact, okay? Phrase and exact only. We will select copy, and we will copy those words that are now in phrase and exact match, and we will enter them and just paste them into here, okay? That's it, okay? That's it. And then we will just click Save and Continue. Now, at this point now, what we're going to do, we're going to create a couple of ads. So we click New Ad, and first thing we're going to do is put in our destination URL, which is going to be, of course, the product on our website. So what I'm going to do is copy and paste that straight in there. Now, what are we going to do for the headline? Well, we've set up an ad group around phrase and exact on one specific keyword, which is basically best steam cleaner or cleaners. So logically, what are we going to do? In the headline, we're going to put that key phrase in there, because when someone types that in, your ad pops up. What are they going to see? They're going to see an ad with that phrase in it. So we'll put in best steam cleaner, okay, in the USA, okay? We've got 30 characters. We've just used 29. Brilliant. Someone's typed that in. That will now be highlighted in the actual ad itself when it shows. It will stand out in bold. So then we basically have to put in, our second headline. You can see your ad starts showing here. So the second headline will be, Right. Oops. Call today. Oops, I've actually gone over. That's not good. So let's see if I can get it right. No, I got over. Okay. I'll just leave it as it is. Okay, so best steam cleaner in the USA, amazing special offer. Now in the path, okay, we're going to basically put in here, you can put in best steam cleaner. I'm just going to put in, for example, steam and then cleaner, right? So now as you can see, what's going on here? Someone's just typed in basically best steam cleaner. They see an ad which generates immediately for best steam cleaner in the USA, amazing special offer. And then they see the URL which has the terminology in there. Now we have a chance to basically put in some form of description. We have 80 characters here. So for the sake of this, I'm just going to take, for example, here we go. Brilliant. Award best steam cleaner in class by Lee. There you go. So I'm just going to take this and see how far I can get with it. All right. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to just paste it directly in here. All right. So now our ad is complete. Best steam cleaner in the USA, amazing special offer. Steam cleaner award best, and we got the terminology best steam cleaner again into the ad. So now we have everything 100% watertight when this basically this ad shows. Okay, so when that's done, we are gonna click done, and now our ad is set up. Okay, we come back to the campaign. But what I do want to do real quickly, in fact, I had some extensions there, which I don't want to, in fact, I'm just going to come out, I'm going to go in here. All right. Oh, I didn't save the keywords. Let me come back in here. So let me come back to this. Put those back in and save. Right. Right. Now we're all done. So let's just come back to the actual campaign. Oh, now we want to put negative keywords in. So here, when you're actually in the keywords, all right, when you're actually in the keywords, why is that not saving? What's going on? That needs to be saved. Right, done. So we want to come into negative keywords. So we want to be putting in, okay, we create the ad group, sorry. It's going to be basically for our ad group, best steam cleaner. I'm going to put in the terms free, used, okay? Those type of terminology, which is not going to trigger our ads. So we want that saved. So those you can see now are negative keywords that will not trigger our advertisements. Now, if we come back to our campaign, ideally, what we want to be doing once you've set up your ads is if you come into ads and extensions here, all right, this was the ad that we created, this one here. Now, let's just go back to the ad group. In fact, let's go campaigns. There we go. In here now, we can basically create further ads. Ideally, we created one, but I'd like you all to basically create at least two, ideally 3 per ad group, okay, per ad group. So what do we do next? We come back and we take our second keyword, okay? And for example, we can take, we looked at floor steam cleaner, right? There you go, floor steam cleaner. So now what we're going to do, we're going to set our next ad group, okay? We're going to call it that exact key term. I want you all to understand people do not set up this way, okay? People just don't do it, but this is the best way to do it, okay? And again, I will basically put in the ad, and now I'm going to come back to here, reset the form, and put in floor steam cleaner, and then floor steam cleaners. Now, again, what I'm going to do is just copy, come back, and I'm going to put in the phrases. Paste them in, and then save and continue. Okay? Now it's going to ask me to create the ad for this one. And we're going to go back, grab the same URL, put that in. But this time, okay, this time we're going to start with, because we know before we had it best steam cleaners. Now we're going to basically have floor steam cleaner or steam cleaners. So we'll put in here again, best floor steam cleaner. Okay. Okay, we'll put in best floors. Let's put in best floor USA. So I'm under the 30 characters. Okay. Whoops. And we could even put in basically check the steam cleaner out. Okay, and again we'll just put in here steam and then cleaner. Okay, and then we can put in obviously the description as well that we had before. Now I'm just going to take that again, come back, paste it in. Right, so now we've got our second ad group just about done with our ad. Now all related again, just run one ad group, one key phrase in phrase and exact, and 2 or 3 ads, okay? And they're all set up all perfectly. Click done, and then set up another couple of ads variations, okay, with the same thing, and then just basically, what have I done here? There's something, punctuation, okay, no problem. We're just gonna remove that, and there you go. Oops. Oh, I can't use it. Not letting me use that word, that phrase. So let me just open it up. One policy, punctuation and symbols. Okay. I'll just turn it to now. All right. So now we're okay. Oh, why is that? Why is it telling me? I've changed it. It's weird, it's not letting me change it, even though I've changed it. Okay, okay. Let's just change that. This has changed the headline. Okay, best steam cleaning USA. I'm putting available now. Limited stock. So I'm trying to create a bit of urgency and scarcity on that ad. So I've got that. I don't know why this is telling me there's no symbols here. I don't have any symbols, and it's telling me I do, but I don't. So I don't know why that's not letting me do it. It says policy violation, punctuation, and symbols, but I don't have any symbols. So let me just try again. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, let's just cancel it. Just restructure it. Best floor in the USA. Well, hopefully this will do it. I don't know why that's doing it, because we're not doing any violation. We've got no punctuation or symbols in here at all. What's going on here? So let's just try that. Let's just cancel it and bin it. Let's just create a new ad again. Let's just come back. Sorry about that. I don't know why that was going on, but it was. It's okay. So basically cleaner. And then we'll put this in. Available now. Limited stock. Okay. All right. So then we're going to put in steam cleaner again, so it's all relevant. And then we'll click done. And then we'll save and continue. I don't know why this is so you can't leave. Oh yeah, you can't leave that blank. Whoops. Come back to here. Paste that in. And then we'll just click done, save and continue. And now we have our second ad group. So if we look at basically what we've done here again, okay, one campaign, okay, multiple ad groups. Each ad group, only one phrase or one key phrase. Okay, only one key phrase, 2 to 3 ad variations. Okay, one campaign, multiple ad groups, each ad group, only one key phrase, 2 to 3 ad variations. So what we're doing here, ultimately, if I carried on, I'll get out probably another 10 key phrases and follow that procedure. Okay, follow that procedure. Now, we can, if we want, add on obviously extensions. Okay. Here we have obviously the ads that we've actually just created in this particular campaign. And if we want to, we can add on extensions to this, which we discussed. Let me just bring this up. Hang on a sec. Yeah. Okay. Add extensions. We've done the ad scheduling. I'll come back to extensions in a minute. I want to look at the other 3: devices, call only, and local targeting. Now, once you actually completed your setup and created all your multiple ad groups related to those individual keywords, okay, now you have total targeting. Okay, now once that's done, I want you to come here to devices. Now, obviously the three sort of devices are PCs, computers, mobile phones, and tablets. Now, right at the start when you're doing this, I want you to reduce the bidding on mobiles, okay? Simply because, there'll be certain products that people will do off mobiles, but to start with, there's so much traffic in mobile, but I want you to basically, at the very start, come to here. So you can see, come to devices, mobile phones, and this is bid adjustment. Okay, and then it says increase, drop down to decrease, and drop it down 60%. Now, your ads will still show on mobile, I guarantee it, but you're going to pay 60% less. If you just leave it as it is, which most people do, they don't even know it's there. All of a sudden, you're going to get all this traffic, and they're wondering what the hell is going on and why no one's buying. And then ultimately, when they figure it out, they look at this, and they realize most of their traffic has come off mobile phones, and no one's purchased. Okay, now I'm not saying there's not buyers on mobile, there are, but let's not get all basically the tire kickers out there. So decrease it by 60%, keep an eye on it, and save. Okay, we can leave computers and tablets as they are for now, but come to devices and drop down 60%. Okay, now here's the thing about basically mobile. If you want to basically test a mobile campaign, this is not the way to do it, because we want to basically, we want people to generate a call. Okay, that's what we want. So as I showed you here, We've just done devices. Now we're going to basically look at, in fact, we'll just do location targeting first. Okay. Here we can come to locations, right? We've targeted the US. Okay. We can, if you want, exclude. If you want to basically, exclude certain states in the US, you don't want to sell there, you can just do this, and you can just type in, for example, if you want to exclude Arizona from your targeting, okay, you can just type in Arizona, click on that for an exclusion, all right, and your ads will not show in Arizona, okay, or even down to a city or a town, you can just exclude it from the system. Okay, right now it's US, but now I'm telling the system, I'm not selling anything in Arizona. I never have. Now I want to cut it out, and that's the end of it. And if that happens, you just click save, and now Arizona is an exclusion on your targeting. The rest of the US, yes. Arizona, no. Okay. Now, if we want to basically generate just stuff on mobile, but we want calls. We don't want people clicking to our website, right? We'll come back, okay? And what we will do is this. We will start a new campaign, okay? A new campaign here. And again, we will click search. We'll do sales, okay? But this time what we want to do, we want to do phone calls, okay? Phone calls. Right, United States, so we can put in a telephone number. And for this, I'll just put in, okay. In fact, what we're going to do is, I'm going to come to here, create a campaign without a goal. Don't do that, come to create a campaign without a goal. Okay, and we'll click phone calls. There's the telephone number, click continue. Now we're gonna just call this call only steam cleaners. All right. Again, uncheck these. You only want it on the search network. United States, English, budget, delivery method, standard. Here we just want to go to clicks. And like we did before, we just want to come back to manual CPC, uncheck that, leave that alone, leave all this alone, okay, just for now. And then additional settings, again, we'll just leave all this alone. We can actually add extensions if we want, but for now, let's just keep it simple. And then we're going to save and continue. And when it decides to actually go to the next stage for us, we'll get there. There you go. Right, so now we've got the ad group. Okay, we'll just call this one Best Steam Cleaner. Okay, we'll put the bid in. Now, on call only, I probably wouldn't do it on steam cleaners, okay? However, you're all going to be in different markets, or even maybe already doing other things. So, basically what we will look at, it's like a demo no matter what you're doing. So, I'm going to put in a bid here, and I'll go a little bit higher. So, I'll go probably like 61. And then I'll come back to the usual scenario, just reset the form. Okay, best steam cleaner, best steam cleaners, right? Wrap it, copy, come back, and then just paste those keywords in, all right? And then we'll basically save and continue. So now we're going to actually create the ad, because this is going to be for call only. All right. So we're going to create the ad here. And again, we're just going to basically put in the final URL, which is this. Okay. Okay. Now you can see the ad is starting to take shape. Again, we can just use a variation. Now, what's happening obviously on this is that it's going to be only on mobile, but this is not going to basically ultimately go, you can go through to your site, or ultimately we'll just basically click on for the call only. So we'll put in here Steam Cleaner. Okay, and then we can just put in the usual description. Where was it here? All right. And then basically we're done. Okay, and that will basically only be specifically for mobile. Now we can just come back to the campaign, and it's there. In fact, we can just have a look and see where we were on the first two that we set up on the ad groups. Let's go to campaigns, and we'll just go basically to, I don't want to be showing that call only, so I'm going to pause that. And obviously for Steam Cleaner here we have it. I'm going to check the ads and see where we are with these. Hang on a second. Okay, they've actually been approved. So in fact, let's have a look in Google and see if anything's showing so far. Okay, but sometimes even though they get approved, they might not show for about an hour or so, but let's just go there. Sorry, I just lost my track of thought there for a second. Okay, best floor steam cleaner. Okay, that's it. Let's just come back to that. Okay, so we're putting that specific terminology in. Let's see if any ads are popping up here to start with. Okay, all right, it's a bit early yet. It can sometimes take about 20, 30 minutes before the actual ads start showing. I'll check the other one just in case. Floor steam cleaner, for example. Let's just put that in, floor steam cleaner. Okay, it's not showing yet. I'll just check the second page just in case I'm not bidding enough. And it is showing. No, it's not showing yet. It's been approved, but normally it takes about, it can be quick, it can be literally 10 minutes. But in my latest experience at Google, they approve the ads, it doesn't show for about an hour. But I'll keep an eye on this basically after the call, and then post it up in the group and show what the ads basically, how they're doing and what they're working for. So ultimately, what we've really learned here today is to create really tight campaigns and ad groups only around one specific keyword. Each ad group is one keyword. Okay, most people will basically take variations. They'll take 15 keywords. All right, they'll create one ad group. Okay, and they'll put in all the keywords, all in here, bang, 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 right? Just all different variations. That's what they'll do, okay? And there'll be discrepancies between impressions and clicks, which means the click-through rate will be low. What we want is high click-through. Now, what does this all mean potentially in the world of Google advertising for you guys? Now, I run, as you know, a lot of advertising, and mainly shopping and text ads and variations on the Google Content Network, display network. So I want to basically show you, so there's no BS going on here, right? Analytics account, which is hooked, and we'll go in and we'll just log in to it. So this is basically an analytics account linked to an e-commerce website of mine, active users. It's just, that's the dashboard. But what we want to be looking at is basically on the advertising that I run on shopping and text ads, what's actually happening and what has happened. So if we look at transactions, okay, and this time it's looking at the last week. It's like $150,000. But if we look at, let's just go closer to home. Let's just go to yesterday. Okay, so yesterday was just over $45,000. Now, again, just with with some people that send in checks and finance options, that was about 54,000, about 53,000 total. Okay, and this is all run, okay, if you even look basically at, let's say last 30 days. Okay, so it's about $650,000 in sales in the last 30 days. And this is all run, okay, via what I do here with shopping and text ads. That's it. Okay, so I'm just going to log in here now. Again, this is one setup, and you can see for yourself, so everything is very, very transparent. Okay, so everything I have here in shopping, most of these are text ads apart from shopping. Okay, so if I look at the last 30 days, okay, last 30 days I've spent, as you can see here, all right, in fact, let's just do everything because it needs to be all campaigns, all right. So last 30 days, I've spent $55,000, right, on advertising, But let me just move this out of the way. What did it generate? 55,000 generated $650,000. In fact, it was a lot more than that when you take in basically PayPal, finance, and checks that come in. Okay, so I'd say that's a pretty good ROI. Spend 55, get back probably about $740,000 in return. Now, that's a significant ROI. Now, of course, it's not all profit. On average, we work off anywhere between 25 to 30%, of which you will be too. So, in essence, I spent 55,000 to generate probably gross profit, probably about $220,000, $230,000 in profit. Okay, gross profit. But either way, when you come down to even to the net, it's high. So, and again, I just wanted to show you this is because it's this, okay, that generates that. I mean, even today. Okay, it's 9 o'clock. It's probably a bit quieter today, actually. But let's have a look. But we're at, if we just hopefully have it, we're at nearly 20. In fact, yeah, with some checks and stuff, but we're at $30,000. So, again, very, very transparent. And I can even show you. So, again, there's even more transparency. Let's just look at today, what we're spending. We'll just do the 2,000. So we just spent basically about $2,000 to generate at this present moment in time with everything, probably with checks and finance, probably about $31,000. So we'll take that any day of the week. Okay, so I hope that basically what I've done here this evening is important because text ads are super important, okay? Shopping ultimately for e-commerce will be the main driver of the bus. Text ads done properly will basically bring you high conversions at low cost, and most importantly, targeted. And by doing it the way we've done it tonight, okay, and I hope everybody has got it, because this is the way that if you want to be super good at ads and text ads and variations, this is the way to set it up. I guarantee you 95, 96, 97, 98, 99% of people do not do it this way. All right? But it's the best way to do it. So we're going to expand from this. In fact, what I'm going to start doing is actually doing some little recordings each week and putting them up in the group. So anytime I basically have something I want to get across quickly that everybody can jump on once you start running the ads. So this be sort of like short 5-10 minutes, just up there on a flash idea that that will ultimately put you ahead of the competition very, very quickly. I'm just going to have a look again and see if I can find one last go and see if the ads are showing yet. If not, we'll just I'll keep on top of it. And okay, it's not in there yet, but it will come in shortly, I'm sure. So on that note, like I say, I'll put it into the group, some screenshots once it starts showing, and we'll see where they are and what I have to do to adjust bids. With a bit of luck on these keywords, it will come in high. So let me just try, what was it? Just hoping to see if we could get one, but pray. Okay. But sometimes what happens in certain certain markets, some companies will just bid so high nobody else can get in. But this is why when you first do it, I know if it's not showing on these 2 pages, which it isn't, it hasn't come in yet. So I'm going to keep an eye on it, and I'll post it up basically as you can see it, so you can see exactly what's going on. So on that note, I hope you all understood that. I'm sure you did. But if you implement your text ads this way, I guarantee it, you're going to be on top of your competition very, very, very quickly. And you're going to get sales, and you're going to pay less money. Okay, so on that note, thank you very much. If there are any questions, I'll take 5 minutes of questions.
Hey, what's up, Gareth? That was amazing. That was amazing, man. So, guys, Gareth, very generous. He invited some people to show up today for you to see really how powerful Google can be. You know, he's been showing you live stats. He's not showing you screenshots or anything, right? We have a high-ticket mastermind for Google where he teaches you how to build a business. But most important is he wants to teach people how to become like ninjas on Google like he is. You know, you have spent millions and millions of dollars, Gareth, right, on Google, right?
Oh, God, yeah. I dread to think ultimately, but it's a lot of money.
So in the past 4 years, Gareth has sold more than $200 million from Google in different businesses, helping people and stuff like that. Very generous guy. He does this because he really has a passion for helping people. So if any of you are interested to work closely with Gareth, you know, make sure you talk to me, you know, so we'll see if we can help you. But definitely, as you say, Gareth, if you're doing e-commerce or selling anything online, if you don't know Google, you're not doing it right?
No, 100%. I mean, this is where the buyers are at the end of the day. You know, it's the buyers are here. The buyers are only in 3 places most of the time, and that's basically Amazon, eBay, and Google. And the majority, trust me, are really on Google. So, and the cool thing is what you just saw there. I mean, I just took a product, put it up, I didn't even really think about it much. And you can see that you can sell a product for $300, $400, $500, probably make $150 on it, and probably get click-throughs for 30, 40 cents, probably less, even on the certain terms and the ad groups that would work for you. Imagine if you could get plenty of clicks for 20 cents. Well, for 20 cents, that's 5 clicks in $1. Okay. You spend 25 bucks, you know, you're going to get basically 125 people through. If you only just sell one, okay, you've only spent 20 bucks, you just made yourself 150. So, you know, this is why ultimately, of course, the research has to be done. But, you know, there are glaring gaps in every market. Most people, even the guys you see here, like the big brands, you know, the reason half the time they're at the top is because on the ads is simply because they just want to, they'll burn money. But you should be happy with that. If you can sit at number 2 or number 3, you know what? Statistics show that basically the buyers are not basically purchasing off the people basically at the top. They're purchasing on number 2, 3, and 4. So that's where you want to position yourself, and this is where basically you will make money. I guarantee it.
Awesome, awesome. So basically, you're gonna in the Google program, you're gonna teach people to become amazing with text ads. What else? Google Shopping. What else?
Shopping, Google Display Network, YouTube, all the different variations of Google plus you know, plus conversion tactics.
Awesome, awesome. And good. So let's see if anyone has questions. And while we're waiting for questions, in the future, guys, you know, when you guys have campaigns, you know, the whole goal is for Gareth not just showing you how he does it, is to look at your campaign and said, this is how you need to do it, you know? So basically helping you have results with your own campaigns. So let's see. No questions? No questions?
Okay, well, either everyone's stunned and amazed or they've fallen asleep.
No, they saw your stats live and they're like, holy crap, I need to start doing this.
Okay.
But anyways, awesome. Something about the research part. How do you research? That's what he's talking about.
I'm sorry, was that a question?
Someone says, can you explain the research part? How do you research?
What, the actual keywords?
I guess. Are you talking Adil? Are you talking about the keyword, the keywords? Oh, he said you mentioned that we have to research, meaning he probably means research the products that you're gonna sell, right?
Well, no, I mean, I wasn't basically going on about products, and the only research I was talking about was actually the specific keywords that you need to use when you're marketing. So in, let's see, if we go back basically into tools in Google, when we have the keyword planner, this is where the main research is done. And as you can see, you're able to download all the data, because you know there's always different variations no matter what you know what you're trying to target. But the important thing is to be as specific as you can be. Now this spreadsheet was a straight download from Google, and as you can see, each one will show monthly searches. Don't worry about the competition. Then it will show, you know, estimated bids per that keyword. Okay. Now I always tell everybody, always take this area with a pinch of salt. Okay. It doesn't necessarily, what it says and what the reality is two different things. I've seen basically keywords, not particularly this one. I've seen some like $5 and I put in like 50 cents, and you know what? It comes in number 1 within an hour. Okay. So take it all with a pinch of salt and downgrade it. And so, but either way, it's all meant to be a guideline. Okay. Meant to be a guideline, but it gives you great data. Now, here, for example, on steam cleaners, it's saying, you know, July average estimated share nearly 50,000. Well, I can tell you, you can quadruple that. Whatever this says, you can triple or quadruple it. Because most of the time, it's taking this terminology and what's in the exact match I told you about. So you can see there's huge searches with relevance to any specific keyword out there, especially if it's, for example, steam cleaners would be, naturally, a product that basically people would want in their home. So it's a good product to have and a good product to market, especially if you can sell it for $400 and only spend 20, 30 cents a click.
Yeah. Nice. Cool. What price range works well on Google?
All price ranges, to be honest with you, but obviously what you want to be, ideally to make more money, you sell a higher ticket product. But ultimately, you can go into Google. Doesn't matter listen, we can just go in here now and just type in, for example, golf balls, right? People are advertising in text ads and shopping. Now, these aren't expensive, but people are advertising, people are selling, and people are making money. Personally, not for me, because the margins aren't big enough, but they'll sell big volume at the end of the day, and they'll build a big database, and then they'll probably remarket them and sell them golf clubs where they make the real money. But then, of course, you can basically, there are so many products out there. I mean, I'll just give you a simple idea of something which is low end, but that doesn't mean people aren't selling them. Plenty of people are selling them because one way or the other, they're making money with the advertising. Okay. Of course, if you've got something with a higher margin of profit and also a higher price point, you're going to have to you'll make more money, and you haven't got to spend so much on the advertising. So ultimately, the rule of thumb is this: stay away from the stuff which is like $20, $30. Focus on the stuff which is basically in the hundreds of dollars, if not the thousands of dollars. That's where you want to be.
Like you told me, if you don't make $100 profit, you stay away, right?
Correct.
Hey, Garrett.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Garrett. Well, I have a question about the average search information. When you are checking the bids, right, there are two different columns, the low range and the high range. Sometimes the high range is really high. Would you take into account this information to start your campaigns?
No. I basically if we look at the keywords again in here, we'll type in a keyword. Yep. So, let's look at what we just saw there. Let's just put in, for example, golf balls. All right. Now, we just looked it on there, and you can see people are selling. Look at this. It's like anywhere from $15 to 103, but you got to buy the packs. However, we click on that. And as you can see, obviously, there's a lot of people searching. But look, why would you want to pay anywhere between $43 and $1.80 to sell golf balls where you're making really pennies? Okay. Yes, there's a desired market. If the price is right, this they're going to buy. But you know what? You might have to go through 100 people. You'd probably end up losing money if you came directly into this market. But to answer your question, excuse me, to answer your question, you're going to see basically in the keyword top of page bid, low range. Okay, so let's read what it says. Top of page bid, low range. So the lower range of what advertisers have historically paid for a keyword's top of page bid, right? Now, then you have the high range. Ignore this completely. Okay? Because here's why. Why would someone, even though they're saying, if anyone out there was paying $9 a click to sell Callaway golf balls, okay, Callaway golf balls for $15, right? You can see how ridiculous that is. If that data is correct, well, whoever it was should be in a lunatic asylum, not advertising on AdWords. So ignore this completely. Here's where you want to start, okay? Ultimately, take this as a guide, all right? I normally take it as a guide, and to start with, pretty much run with what it says, right? Because most of the time, all this stuff, in this group here, is actually too high. So, for example, if I went basically in now to, and I was advertising Volvic golf balls, and I bid at 46 cents, I'm willing to basically bet money that I'll probably come in at 46 cents at number 1 or number 2 on that key term, right? Now, when we started this demonstration, okay, and we'll come back basically to the search campaigns that we set up, which is obviously under Steam Cleaner, all right? Once the traffic and the impressions start through these ad groups, okay, and you start getting the clicks, then you will be able to see straight away, it will say the clicks, and the CPC. Now, you bid it at, let's say, 49 cents. The CPC may start basically at 38, and you're ranking number 1. All right? Yeah. Now, what you want to do immediately is basically lower the bid to 1 cent above basically what is happening on the average CPC. So you would lower the bid from 49 to 39 because it's coming in at 38, because the system works in one cent increments. So it would mean that basically after a few days, if you're getting the clicks on this particular one, on Best Steam Cleaner, and I'm getting it at 38 cents, I'm going to drop it down to 39. You know why? Because what will happen is that I will still stay in the same position and still get the same clicks, but automatically, because by dropping it one penny above what I've been getting, all of a sudden within hours, my average bid will now come down from 38 to about 32, okay? And then if I'm still staying in the same positions, then I adjust it to 1 penny again to 33, 1 penny above, okay? And that keeps you in the same positions with the same click-through. So what's happened here in the space of literally 2 or 3 days? I've started at 49, and I've ended up at 32, maybe even 29 cents. But I'm still ranking at the top. I'm still getting the same clicks and the same impressions. But by the time you box clever on this, you can halve your initial cost literally in days, okay? And that's why it's smart to build each ad group with only basically the one key phrase and its variation in it. That's it. Because you keep everything tight, click-through rates go high, quality score goes high, and this comes down, okay?
So only 1 cent at a time.
Sorry?
So only 1 cent at a time.
1 cent above. So let's assume this now had been running traffic, okay? And the clicks had started, and I've had 5 clicks on there. And in this space here, let me give you an example, okay? Let me show you what I'm talking about. So let's just basically come out. And let's just go into some sort of text ad, right? Okay. So this is what I do sort of every day of the week. So let's say here now, we'll come into a campaign, all right? And this is a text ad campaign, right? And let's just click on clicks. Right, so here we have everything built up. Now, here you can see basically what's gone on. And I can come into here in this exact campaign today, right? It's today. And I can see, in fact, let's just do the clicks, hang on. There you go, right? An exact match. So I've had 39 at 133, right? That I changed it. Look what's happened. I was at 133. Now today I've had 39 clicks at 90 cents. So what do? I come in here now and I change it
91
to 91, correct. Only 1 cent above basically what I was at. This one I had basically at 187. Now I come into that. I'm now at 123. So I drop it to 1.2 0.24, only 1 penny above. Now, I'll keep an eye on it, but in theory, what would happen is that I'm still going to stay there. In fact, if I basically just can come back to Google, right, and I just type in, basically on this particular one, what I sell, which is mobility scooters, type it in, and we have, it's not showing the ads at the top right now. 1 second. Oh, I forget. These ads go off, the text ads go off basically at 8 o'clock on this campaign. So there's not much I can show you on that one. But you get where I'm coming from, right?
Right.
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So if someone doesn't buy on the first visit, someone is asking, do you send them to a funnel or what do you do?
No. What we do is we basically, this is all part of the training, we basically set up what's called a retargeting campaign, right? So if they don't buy on the first visit, we set up retargeting, which means that we cookie them and we bring them back in via the Google Display Network. That's what we do.
Okay. Nice. Good. I think that was a lot of value, man. An hour and a half.
Yeah, a lot of value. I mean, that's actually a really good question. Retargeting is a big place to be as far as, e-commerce is concerned, because, when you cookie people, you bring them back in through other avenues, you're bringing them back in at literally 2/3 less than what they paid on the way in. So let's say they paid $1, for example. You bring them back in at 33 cents. But the first time round, they were basically a lukewarm to warm lead. Now they come back in the second time, they are a lot warmer. In fact, I was looking at stats this morning, right across the board, even on my own counts. Retargeting as opposed to direct. Now, direct conversion is around 1.2%, which is fine. It doesn't sound like a lot, but in the essence, when you're driving traffic and making hundreds of dollars per sale, you're actually making money. It's only 1% you need. But when I was looking at the retargeting conversions, they were about 2.4%. So people that basically came back in were converted at 2.4% as opposed to 1.2 on the initial arrival.
Nice. Awesome, man. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for so much value, man.
Yeah, no problem. Pleasure. I hope everybody enjoyed it.
Well, if anyone wants to be in that Google training, let me know. We're going to be able to help you. And obviously, Gareth has more than $200 million of experience with Google, and he can definitely help you build a real asset. Not just making money online, but making a real asset. Okay? Anyway, thank you so much, Gareth.
That's my pleasure. And I'll see everybody else again on Thursday.
Awesome. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.